Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today, we're going to take a look at this new bait deck. It's Tornado in Valkyrie. With the buff to Valkyrie and the nerf to Knight, in the opinion of some pros out there, Valkyrie is a better fit for the classic or semi-classic bait deck. Just log bait straight up. Today's going to be a great video. I can't wait to share this gameplay with you guys. And we're also going to introduce a new format to the channel. Before we talk about the new format, let's start out with the most difficult matchup, I would say, for this deck. And it's Three Musketeers. Three Musketeers against a really good player, too, in Andy. You saw also a 20-win player. Let's watch these two pros go head-to-head. At the end of this first replay, after we kind of focus on the gameplay, we'll talk about the new format to my pro tip videos that aren't interviews, okay, like this one. So here we go. So Dhar gets in a really tough spot in the beginning, but he's able to put a log on that pump. Even logging the pump is important. You want to punish as much as possible. However, he's going to take a lot of damage here. The bandit does get a dash off on his right tower, and he loses, oh gosh, like about almost 1,000 HP off that right tower. So certainly not the start that he wanted, but he was a victim of a bad starting hand. Of course, we do have a video out talking about the new fixed starting hands for friendly battles. Maybe this will solve some of those problems in the future. However, the opponent, Andy, does give us a rocket value there, getting a rocket on that left tower, also taking out the other pump, and you can bet your bottom dollar with a pretty sizable elixir advantage, he's going to go ahead and execute a Three Musketeer push. This is a very dangerous push. Obviously, again, you know, they have a huge elixir advantage, but guess what? With this deck, this is how you want to handle a Three Musketeer matchup. You tornado the Musketeers in the same lane. Something to note, tornadoing the Three Musketeers into the same lane in Legendary Arena, such as we are right now, you want to kind of aim for the fist of those, what is it, kings? Are those king statues? They look a lot like a royal ghost statue, but I think they're the king statues. Anyway, you see the fist in the king statues way at the top of the screen? You basically want to aim the vortex, the center of your tornado, at kind of the fist area, between the fist and the torso of those statues. And no matter what map you're on, you're gonna wanna aim for that area really early when they drop the Three Musketeers to get them into the same lane. Once you have them in the same lane, well, you have a bunch of options, right? You don't want to use your rocket because you want to save that for pump, but you can use obviously your Valkyrie, as we're going to see here, I think. You can use your simply a log and a princess. You have a lot of options in this deck. And this guy, again, Andy, a really good player here. He does a really good job with this matchup, and we pretty much have an answer. The cool thing about this deck, guys, is with Valkyrie in there, and look at the Valkyrie usage right here, keeping this, keeping the princess alive, enabling us to cycle to another princess. But with the Valkyrie in this deck, it takes on almost a whole new versatility against graveyard decks. I mean, Valkyrie dominates against graveyard. To have a tank that does that good of a job against graveyard is absolutely amazing. She has more HP than a knight. She costs one more, but you get a lot more versatility out of her. And again, with that little haircut to the knight, combined with the haircut increase to the Valkyrie, it makes for a great option, guys. I tried this deck out as well, and I went 11-3 in a Classic Challenge. Why did I play a Classic Challenge? I don't even know, but I figured I'd do better, and that was the case. So it's nothing to write home and brag about, but by the way, shout out to Abdul Khan, my YouTube sponsor of the day. So let me tell you, as we hop into this next replay, about the episode format change. This is based on your feedback in the comments, so make sure you always never hesitate. How about just you never hesitate to leave me a comment when you have an opinion on things I should or could do differently on the channel. And don't say delete the channel, because I can't do that. So anyway, guys, what we're gonna do here on the channel now is every single video starting Monday, maybe tomorrow. Anyway, every single video, we're gonna include me playing at least one match using the deck. Now, I'm not saying my gameplay is going to be anything to write home about, especially in this, with this deck. I'm not a bait player, however, you know, I think I'm decent. I'm all right, I guess. So the reason I want to do that is based on your feedback again, because you guys say you really, really enjoy seeing an average player or a non-pro play the deck. And it's self-serving too, because I want you guys in the comments to help me out. You're going to be a part of these videos. If you reach these videos in the first hour, especially, but sometimes I catch them the day after too. I always kind of try to check back the next day. By the way, King Tower activation on that miner. Boom! This is the 12 win too. What I want you guys to do, or was it 11 win? Oops, my bad. So what I want you guys to do is help out, right? Comment on what I could have done differently in my matches to help me out, especially if I don't have the pro coaching me on the, on the headset. So that's what I want you guys to do. So I will play a match with this deck afterwards. This is pre-recorded, by the way, because I like to watch the replays ahead of time, but I'll kind of walk you through my thought process. Anyway, guys, here we go, back into this match. We're playing against a Goizen deck, kind of a new meta Goizen with the double minions, but also with Bandit in this deck. And we get a few hits there with those stab goblins. Why did we send in that goblin barrel? Well, a few reasons. Number one is we drew out those minions out of the opponent. Very easy to snipe with the princess there, and he didn't want to use minions in that situation. Obviously, we're able to protect the miner there with the Valkyrie, forcing out a zap out of the opponent. That was a really good exchange on our part. However, here comes a minion and a giant at the bridge. How are we going to handle this? Check out this defense, guys. It's going to be an Ice Spirit, a Goblin Gang, and a Princess, all kind of teaming up to really stymie that attack. Meanwhile, check out that Valkyrie, doing so much damage. The Valkyrie, we just kind of left her for dead. I wasn't even paying attention to the Valkyrie, but if the Valkyrie goes unchecked into a tower, even if she's not at full health, she can do some serious damage, as we just saw, leaving that tower with triple eights. 888, baby. Here comes the Goblin Barrel, doing some more damage to that left tower. We have it within rocket range. That's gonna be GG, guys. That's gonna do it there. So rocket down, and we pick up the victory. So you can see the decision making here by Dhar is just so on point. Now let's go to a noob. Granted, it's just the first match of a grand challenge, but we'll see how we do in this match. And of course, as always, I'll show the replays to you guys, win or loss, and they won't always be number one in a GC. Sometimes they'll be halfway through or whatever. So here we go. It is, by the way, speaking of grand challenges, I can only get 12 wins with 2 decks at this point. Anything else, I'll struggle. Maybe I'll get to 3 wins, 3 and 3, or maybe I'll get to 8 wins. But I'll never get to 12. And the 2 decks are 3 Musketeers and Golem. That's it. That's all I can do. So I'm a 2-trick pony. I don't know what that says about me, but it is what it is. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to use a Goblin Gang here to distract that, almost called it an air sweeper, in the left to distract that. Speaking of air sweepers, on my overlay, guys, do you think that's an air sweeper that Rosh made me over there on the bottom left? Like way down there, right there, like on the opposite side of me. Is that an air sweeper, or is that a, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's great. I love the overlay, but I'm wondering what that is exactly. I gotta ask Rosh, if you're watching, please comment, and I'll pin it so everybody knows what that is. It might be an air sweeper. I don't know. Anyway, shut up, Ash. Okay, so here we go. I'm talking through my entire match. Isn't this so valuable, guys? I'm talking through the whole thing. So I played a Valkyrie there. That was probably a mistake. I think I probably should have rocketed that Furnace instead and not played that Valkyrie. However, I would have taken a lot of damage. Now, this deck is an interesting deck being played by my opponent here. However, I have an answer for everything. It's definitely a hut spam deck, right? With the Goblin Hut and the Furnace. And it's a P.E.K.K.A. It's like a P.E.K.K.A. hut spam deck. We've seen this deck before. It's not new. But you know what? It's not that challenging with this deck because we have the Valkyrie. Again, she's much better than the Knight in this sort of a matchup. And you can see here, I'm going to start being more aggressive with my Goblin Barrel as we enter into double elixir time. I'm going to start, kind of chipping away at that right tower. It's down to 1146, and you can see, guys, we're not really panicking here. We're taking some chip damage to our left tower. He keeps going, pretty aggressively towards the right tower. He actually drops his first P.E.K.K.A. there in the back. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I leak a little bit of elixir, and I play that Valkyrie just a little bit too high. Now, luckily, I'm going to be able to send that P.E.K.K.A. back into the Goblin Barrel. He zaps, but it buys me more time for the princess to kind of do her thing there. I reload with another princess. Now this could be an absolutely devastating push coming up here. I play my Valkyrie, I lure everything to the center there, I play the Tornado, P.E.K.K.A.'s almost down, Flying Machine, I almost called it an air sweeper again? Flying Machine is almost down. We're trying to get some chip damage here, but we did take a decent amount of damage to that Flying Machine on our right tower there. So at this point, I need to deal with this P.E.K.K.A. again, and at this point in the match, I'm telling myself and reminding myself, be patient, man. Just be patient. Keep sending him the Goblin Barrels when you have a moment, when you think you can defend, and then just lean on that Princess, the Tornado, and the Valkyrie if you need to on defense. I know at this point, all I need is one Goblin Barrel in a log or a rocket in a log, so when I get those stabs in, taking it down to 285, I know it's GG. Even though he has a decent kind of push coming in on my tower, I end it with a rocket there, and that's going to be good game. So what do you guys think I should have done differently? Anybody see any big misplays there? Feel free to comment in the comments. Again, I really appreciate your feedback, so feel free to critique away. I really have no ego when it comes to you guys picking apart my gameplay. So this is an interesting deck, 400k cards though. I don't know if I want to show that deck. It seems in 12-win easy matchup. I don't want to show an easy matchup. Look at the minions, the bats, the Goblin Gang, you know, against Tornado, Valkyrie, and Tornado Princess. There's nothing he can do there. That was an interesting deck. I kind of want to show a graveyard deck. Giant Graveyard Nado. Want to watch this one with Cannon Cart too. That's a pretty solid deck. And this guy is a 20-win player too. So let's watch this one, and we'll watch it in double speed, at least until double elixir time. Keep in mind that Dhar is on the top this time, not the bottom. So here's Max. He's going to start out with a tombstone in the center. We go in with the Goblin Barrel. He Nados it away. So this is an interesting matchup. He does have, obviously, Graveyard, but we have the ultimate Graveyard counter in the Valkyrie. Not as good as she used to be, though, now that the skeletons spawn at the perimeter. I say now like it's a new development, but, you know, it's been, what, 6 months now? But, you know, back in the day when the skeletons were totally random, you just plop down a Valkyrie and she does her thing and that's it, GG, right? Now it's a little bit more tricky, but usually you can still get a ton of value from the Valkyrie. So here comes a push coming in our way. The opponent activates their King Tower with that Tornado on our Goblin Barrel. Meanwhile, that Cannon Car almost reaches within tower range. However, that timely log was able to kind of stymie that cannon right on the bridge. It might break the bridge. I think the cannon's pretty heavy. That's what they're saying anyway. Anyway, so we're going to go pretty aggressive here. We have a Valkyrie push, we send in the Goblin Barrel, and we actually do get a decent amount of damage off that left tower. So here comes a big push from the opponent. We place the Valkyrie there, right smack dab in front of that tower, and she does such a good job cleaning up all those skeletons, meanwhile also doing damage to that giant. We get more chip damage with that Goblin Barrel. Here it comes. It is another giant, and no, look at that. Look at the defense there, guys. Insane. It was a giant cannon cart coming our way, but we were able to really stop everything. Just having a Princess Valkyrie Tornado combination on defense makes this deck so difficult to defend with. Now we place a Valkyrie there distracting that cannon, and the opponent poisons here. That might have been, I don't know, it's hard to say it's a mistake, but it allows us to get in that very last Goblin Barrel, and boom, tower down, rocket, thank you, goodbye, that's all she wrote. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck. I really like it a lot. I want to thank again Dhar for coming on the channel. Really a pleasure. I really enjoy his gameplay. I want to get him maybe on the channel on voice sometime. He wanted me to thank Woody and, oh gosh, the whole Reddit Alpha fam. If I'm forgetting anybody, he had a bunch of shout outs, and oh gosh, I don't have it up. I'm a Ash fail. Ash, you're a failure. I apologize, Dhar. I'll include in the description all the people he wanted me to thank, but definitely the Reddit Alpha fam and Woody. So shout out to those guys, and shout out to Dhar again for coming on. Of course, shout out to my YouTube partner, Bren Chong. Check out his information in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and as always, take care, guys.